hits one into the upper deck in left field. Unbelievable!
What if I told you that Kris Bryant's career is following an eerily similar path to David Wright's? Two-star third baseman, both beloved by their fans, both seemingly destined for Cooperstown. But as we've seen with Wright, injuries can derail even the most promising of careers.
And they go around the horn, and Kris tumbling after tripping.
At this stage, obviously doing everything that I can to get back on the field to help this team.
In this video, we're going to uncover the hidden parallels between these two players that no one else is talking about. From their early dominance.
All right, hits that one a long way. Left center field, and he comes to Montreal and hits his first major league home run.
To the creeping specter of chronic injuries, the similarities are striking. By the end, you'll understand why Bryant's future might be far more uncertain than you think. But to understand why Bryant's arrival in Major League Baseball was so electrifying, we need to look back at the foundation of his career, at what he did before he got to the major leagues. Fresh out of college, Bryant's journey to the big leagues was nothing short of incredible. At the University of San Diego, he showed off his incredible power, belting 31 home runs in his junior season alone. What's crazy is that this feat came after the NC2A switched to BB Core composite bats, making Bryant's power display even more impressive. The Chicago Cubs saw Bryant's potential and snagged him with the second overall pick in the 2013 Major League Draft. And boy, did that decision pay off. Bryant's minor league performance was so stellar that fans were clamoring for his call-up before he even set foot in Wrigley Field.
1-0 pitch to Bryant, swinging a high drive into right field. There goes the shutdown inning, on its way to the berm and gone.
First pitch to Bryant on the way. He swings, hits a deep drive. Tucker back at the wall, and this ball's over the wall for a home run.
When he finally made his debut in 2015, Bryant lived up to the hype and then some. He crushed 26 home runs, drove in 99 runs, and posted a solid .275 batting average. As the 2015 season drew to a close, the baseball world eagerly anticipated the announcement of the National League Rookie of the Year. To the surprise of few, Bryant claimed the award, cementing his status as one of the game's brightest young stars.
Later this week, we're going to have the MVP results announced, and he's going to be probably somewhere 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. He absolutely earned every bit of it in his first season.
Nabbing the Rookie of the Year in his debut season was an honor that was well deserved. Yet Bryant wasn't content to rest on his laurels. Instead, he pushed himself to redefine what a sophomore season could look like. In 2016, Bryant took his game to another level entirely. He slashed an incredible .292, .385, and .554, launched 39 home runs, and drove in 102 runs. On top of that, he led the league with 121 runs scored. I mean, the guy was an absolute machine at the plate. His advanced metrics were amazing, with a leading 7.3 WAR and a 146 OPS plus, making him one of the best hitters in all of baseball. What's even more amazing is that Bryant showed up when it mattered. When the at-bats were the most important, he'd pull out a clutch hit. In a June game against the Reds, he became the first person in Major League Baseball history to hit 3 home runs and 2 doubles in the same game. Talk about an amazing day at the plate. Holy cow. But Bryant wasn't done there. He carried that amazing regular season into October and hit .308 with 3 crucial home runs when it mattered. The cherry on top of Bryant's historic 2016 season came when he helped end the Cubs' 108-year World Series drought. His game-tying home run in Game 5 against the Cleveland Indians will forever be etched in Cubs lore.
Under fires. Fly ball, deep left center field, back toward the wall. It's got a chance. Gone!
When the dust settled, Bryant had achieved something unprecedented in baseball history. He became the fastest player ever to win Rookie of the Year, MVP, and a World Series title, all in just 2 seasons.
A year ago, he was the unanimous winner for Rookie of the Year. This year, Cubs third baseman Kris Bryant was almost unanimous for the National League MVP award. He won overwhelmingly by getting 29 of 30 first-place votes and becoming the 4th player to win an MVP the year after being named the top rookie.
Bryant's meteoric rise seemed unstoppable. With his laser-like focus and incredible work ethic, many believed he was destined for a Hall of Fame career. But as we'll soon see, even the brightest stars can fade unexpectedly. As quickly as Bryant ascended to baseball's pantheon, dark clouds were forming on the horizon, threatening to derail what seemed like a surefire path to greatness. As the champagne dried and the confetti settled, a subtle shift was occurring in Kris Bryant's career. The numbers don't lie. but they can be deceiving. How did a string of all-star appearances mask the beginning of a troubling trend? From 2017 to 2019, Bryant's performance began to show signs of decline. His OPS plus dropped steadily from an impressive 136 in 2017 to 120 in 2018, and further down to 113 in 2019. While still above average, this downward trend raised eyebrows among keen observers of the game. The power numbers that had defined Bryant's early career also took a hit. In 2018, he managed just 13 home runs, a far cry from the 39 he blasted during his MVP campaign in 2016. His slugging percentage fell from .513 in 2017 to .469 the following year. Injuries began to cast a shadow over Bryant's once bright future. A shoulder injury in 2018 limited his effectiveness at the plate, while a stress fracture in his back in 2019 further impacted his performance. These health issues would come to define the later stages of Bryant's career. The Cubs, in an attempt to maximize Bryant's value and protect his health, began moving him around the diamond. He spent time in the outfield and at first base, in addition to his natural position at third. While this versatility was initially seen as an asset, it may have contributed to his inconsistent performance. The constant position changes meant Bryant never had the chance to settle into a defensive rhythm, potentially affecting his offensive output as well. Bryant's injuries told a worrying tale, one that felt hauntingly familiar to fans of another superstar third baseman, David Wright. Their careers, while separated by time, began to echo each other in ways few fans could ignore. Wright, a 7-time All-Star and 2-time Gold Glove winner, had been on a Hall of Fame trajectory early in his career. But then injuries, particularly a diagnosis of spinal stenosis, derailed Wright's career in his early 30s. The parallels between Bryant and Wright are striking. Both showed early signs of greatness that had fans dreaming of Cooperstown. As Bryant's production continued to waver and his injury list grew longer, the specter of David Wright's career trajectory loomed large. The question on everyone's mind was whether Bryant could avoid Wright's fate and recapture the magic of his early career. But as we would soon see, the road ahead for Kris Bryant would be anything but smooth. Despite the mounting challenges, Bryant's undeniable talent made him a coveted free agent. His next chapter began with a bold move to Colorado, one that carried high hopes and even higher stakes. In a move that sent shockwaves through the baseball world, Kris Bryant inked a massive 7-year, $182 million deal with the Colorado Rockies in March 2022. The contract, which included a full no-trade clause, was a clear gamble for both parties.
Gets old real quick. Well, Kris Bryant is a Rocky.
Yeah, and I'm still confused. I don't get it. This team is, the Rockies are in a division in which they're not going to do anything. They haven't invested anything into winning until now, but one guy's not going to do that. I'm confused all around.
For Bryant, it meant joining a team that had finished last in the NL West the previous season. For the Rockies, it represented a significant financial commitment to a player coming off an inconsistent few years. The reaction to Bryant's signing was mixed. Some experts praised the Rockies for landing a former MVP and a World Series champion, viewing it as a statement of intent to compete. Others questioned the wisdom of such a large investment in a player with a growing injury history. The Rockies front office, however, seemed confident in their decision. They envisioned Bryant as a cornerstone player who could help turn the franchise around. One intriguing aspect of the deal was how Coors Field might impact Bryant's performance. The thin air in Denver has historically boosted offensive numbers, and many speculated that Bryant's power numbers would see a significant uptick. On top of that, his versatility in the field made him an attractive option for a team looking to build a competitive roster. As the 2022 season began, expectations were high for Bryant's debut in purple pinstripes. Fans eagerly anticipated seeing how the former Cubs star would fare in his new home. But what unfolded over the next few months was far from the storybook beginning everyone was hoping for. Bryant's first few seasons with the Rockies quickly turned into a nightmare. Injuries, which had become a concern in recent years, completely derailed his campaign. Back issues and plantar fasciitis limited Bryant to just 42 games, and his production when on the field was really disappointing. He managed only 5 home runs and 14 RBIs, posting a mediocre .306 on-base percentage. The reality of Bryant's situation began to set in for the Rockies fans and management alike. What was supposed to be a triumphant first chapter in a new era for the franchise instead raised serious questions about the wisdom of their $182 million investment. As Bryant struggled to stay on the field, concerns about his long-term durability grew even louder. As the injuries piled up and Bryant's time on the injured list extended, the questions about his future became more pressing. Could he bounce back from his disastrous first season? Would the Rockies ever see a return on their massive investment? The answer to these questions remains elusive, but one thing is clear. Kris Bryant's path back to stardom was now steeper than ever before. As Bryant enters the latter half of his contract, the Rockies face a challenging financial situation. They owe their struggling star $107 million over the next 4 years, potentially limiting their ability to make other roster moves as well. The team's flexibility depends heavily on Bryant's health, which could shape the franchise's direction for years to come. And trading Bryant would be really challenging, given his contract and injury history. Even if they can find a trade, the Rockies might need to cover a significant portion of his remaining salary to facilitate the deal. The most likely scenario might involve Bryant spending extended time on the injured list, with the Rockies using the insurance clause to mitigate their financial losses and reinvest in other areas of the team. Now, as Bryant continues his uphill battle, fans have to wonder, will we see a triumphant return, or will we see history repeat itself? Let us know your thoughts below, and check out the story about Joey Bats here